connection, you don't need an experience, and this is not a scam. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you remote jobs that are hiring Nigerians even without any experience. So make sure that you watch this video to the end. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Onyeka Adedayo. I'm a full stack marketer and also a community builder. If you're watching this video, you definitely need to be in my community, because in my community, I give you access to training, opportunities, resources, jobs, anything at all that helps you build a thriving digital career. All right, let's get into today's video. Working remotely has now become a norm. I mean, so many people want to work remotely because it gives you the comfort, the ability to work from anywhere in the world, and it's also pretty flexible. But many a times people struggle with the remote roles that they need to get into, especially if they do not have a lot of experience and also maybe they do not have like a degree. So let me tell you some of the remote roles that you can immediately get hired for even without an experience, and some of these roles pay in dollars. So the top remote jobs that you can get in 2025 if you have no experience is one, virtual assistant. In virtual assistant, you're doing things that you already know how to do. You're managing people's emails, you're helping them manage their calendar, you're also doing admin support, basically handling any tasks that probably they're too busy to do and they pass on to you. That one is very easy because I mean these are basic things that you already have an idea doing for yourself. Virtual assistants are needed all around the world, and if you are able to establish yourself in that area, you can work with clients even outside of Nigeria. Then you have social media management. In social media management, you are doing content planning, you're responding to DMs, you are publishing content, and these are things that you may already have an idea on how to do, because I mean, you're on Instagram, you're on Facebook, you already know how to put content out there, or on Twitter, wherever platform, right? So that's another way to go if you are looking for a remote job that you can do without any experience. Social media managers are needed all around the world. So imagine if you start today, in the next 3 months, you can be employed by a company outside of Nigeria and get paid in dollars. That's fact. Next, you have content writing. I love content writing so much because, I mean, when you learn content writing, there are so many other things that you can do. You can be a copywriter, you can do social media management, you can write video scripts, you can help people with their personal brand. There's so much that you can enjoy when you're a content writer. And if you're seeing this video, I have a training on content writing coming up pretty soon in my community. So make sure that you use the link in the description to join the community. I look forward to seeing you there. But back to the conversation, content writing is another low hanging fruit that you can utilize if you are interested in working remotely but you have no experience. It is easy to do, and like I said, there are so many varieties or so many sectors that you can get into just by being a content writer. And like the other jobs, they are needed all around the world. So if you're very good, you can work with companies outside of Nigeria and get paid upwards of even 10,000 USD, depending on the kind of company you're working with. Next, you have customer support. If you want to get a remote job in 2025 and you don't have any experience, working with an organization as a customer support representative is a good place to start. You can help them manage inquiries, respond to emails, ensure that their user experience and onboarding flows smoothly, also handle calls to customers and things like that. This is easy to start and you can really scale up pretty quickly. Then you have lead generation specialist. There are some individuals out there who are interested in generating leads, but maybe are too busy to do so. As a lead generation specialist, you're helping companies find potential customers that they can reach out to pitch their services. It's very easy to get started. You just need a script from the company on what they would like you to pitch to customers, and then you need to use tools like LinkedIn, Apollo, or Hunter, which are sometimes free to start, to find the details of these potential clients and send them an email pitching the services of the company that hired you. Those are the entry level and beginner friendly roles that you can work in if you want a remote job but you don't have any work experience. But there are four things that you need to know if you want to work remotely. The first is schedule, second, spending, third, success, and finally, security. Let's start with the first, schedule. In working remotely, you're going to be working with people from all around the world, whether from Nigeria, Kenya, Rwanda, outside of Africa, different locations. So it's always important that you understand time zones. You want to make sure that whatever company that you're working with or whatever individual you're working with, you understand their time zone and you show up when needed for your job. irrespective of what time zone you are starting off the job from. And let's talk about spending. When you're working remotely, there are tools that you may require that would need you to spend money, right? If you're working with a company as a full-time staff, you should request to get support for these things you want to spend on from the organization. Some organization actually give you setups like laptops, money for workstation and things like that. But there are some who may not have that kind of resource, but they can pay for tools that you use. So make sure that you always reach out to make a request for these tools. Then, if you're working as a freelancer, you know that you're responsible for these tools. The clients cannot be paying you for the tools that you're using for your freelance work. So you want to make sure that if you want to do freelance, you have the tools that you require. You should also consider success. People fail at working remotely because they don't hold themselves to any success standard. You should set metrics. Some organizations actually give you things called KPIs, or they tell you the desired results they want to see. And you should always use that as a measure for how effective you're working as a remote employee. It can qualify you for recommendations or even promotions. Finally, security. Working remotely means that majority of the work you'll be doing is online, and you want to make sure that you're keeping yourself safe online in this era of cybersecurity threat, right? Don't put your passwords or private details online. Don't use the wrong Wi-Fi. Don't expose yourself to harmful VPN. Make sure that you're conscious of threats to your profile online and that you secure yourself as much as possible. Now, in case you're wondering what platforms can I find these remote jobs, I'll share with you some platforms you can find remote jobs and also some ideas that you can test out. The first is LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a very good place to start because it's a professional network and so many people come there every day to talk about business, to find clients, and to find employees or people to hire. You also have other social media platforms like Instagram, Twitter, Threads, all these channels. You can find remote jobs on these platforms. Maybe you want to work as a virtual assistant remotely. Go to a platform like Twitter, type remote virtual assistant. You will see different posts that has been made looking for a remote virtual assistant. That is a good place for you to actually start. Then you can also reach out to people in your network who you know have access to jobs or are often busy and things like that. Reach out to them and let them know, okay, you're starting in this role and you would appreciate any recommendation or opportunity to work. You'll be amazed. They can actually connect you to different jobs. You should also consider platforms like Upwork or any freelancing platform out there. I know Upwork gets a bit technical, especially if you're a beginner, but you can look for alternatives. You can search on Google for Upwork alternatives and you can find a lot that you can actually take advantage of. Finally, you have communities. If you want to work remotely but you don't know where to start, I recommend joining communities. Communities will expose you to different possibilities. If you are part of my community, I share jobs, opportunities, things that can really help you scale fast. People get into our community and get jobs within a month. They get into the community and get jobs that are paying in dollars in a short period of time. I highly recommend that you join my community or any other community that you find out there that is as useful to you as mine will be. So this is everything we'll be sharing today. If you have questions, keep it in the comment section and I'll definitely respond. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel and I'll see you in the next video.